Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Sarah, and after a long time, I'm going to attempt to film a video right now. Because I filmed a few and I've hated all of them recently, but I'm gonna attempt to. But I wanted to do like a full face, kind of like my current foundation routine, because I never really had a foundation routine before. One that I like keep going back to because I constantly go through foundations. But I have found one recently that I really enjoy, and I've been doing the exact same base for like the last maybe like 2 or 3 months now. Also, ignore the eyebrows. We are going to get to that in a second. First, we are going to start off with a primer, and this is a primer I've been using for about 6 months now. So this is the Ordinary's High Adherence Silicone Primer. I used to use the Babyface Maybelline primer, and that reminds me a lot of this. This one is the same kind of silicone base. It's gonna fill stuff in, but it's not really like, it doesn't have that extra slippery oiliness that I feel the Babyface one did. Just like a little bit on your fingers, and I already have a clean base, except for my eyebrows of course, but I already did like my skincare, and I just kind of focus it on the areas that I know I have the largest pores. Now that that's all in, next we are gonna go in with my current concealer. This is the Wet n Wild little concealer. This is in the shade light medium beige. Yeah, so I got light medium beige instead of like a deeper one because I wanted this to be like a highlight. But I just kind of take one wand full, just a little bit on my nose and just like a little bit on my forehead. This is the star of the show. The reason I wanted to do this was because of the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin, and this is a BB cream, but it's a much thicker BB cream than I feel like most are. I just use like that much. That actually might be too much. But this is also in the shade 540 medium. This thing is like $6 on Amazon is where I got mine from. And then my wet beauty blender thing, beauty sponge, not really beauty blender because I don't got money for that. I'm just going to dab it around and slowly like mix it in with my concealer. I like to do it this way because then my concealer, I don't feel like the concealer itself stands out a whole lot, and it gradually mixes in with the foundation without creating like a super obvious highlight, but it does bring some brightness and dimension to my face. And just a little bit on my forehead. And you really want to make sure that it's all completely blended into your skin, up to your ears, under your jawline, on your lid, and then right here like in the crease. If you bring your foundation into there, you want to make sure that you pat that down really well, because there have been times when I looked back at my foundation and I'm like, why is there like weird foundation creases by my eyes? I want to make sure that if there are blemishes that you want to hide a little bit more, it's obviously a BB cream, so it's not going to cover everything. It's not a full coverage, but if you want to just make your skin a little more perfected, I take just a little bit on the end and go right over. I mostly right now have just acne scarring, and I've been working on getting rid of that, but this is nice because it's really light, and it helps just to perfect my skin without making it cakey or clogging my pores. And I'm going to really quickly shape my eyebrows just with the same concealer, just because it's kind of tedious, but I'll show you how they look after. So we shaped our brows. It's not anything super special. I just put one little wand full on the back of my hand, take my little concealer brush, and just kind of shape it how I want. I haven't really found a perfect brow routine yet, so I'm not gonna be sharing that. You might think they look awful. I usually think they look awful, but for today, it's okay. So next I want to go in with my powder, and for powder I use the Laura Mercier powder. I got this as an Influencer is how you pronounce their name. Like a little, it's like a gift thing, so you get sent products for free and you can do reviews. I'm not required to do any of this, but this is one of my favorite powders and I got it for free, so I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in Influenster at all. I've gotten some really amazing products through them, absolutely free and at no, like whatever, no strings attached, which is really nice. That much. And then in the lid, just kind of do that so it's not all concentrated in one area. And I start under my eye. I used to bake, but I don't like to when I'm doing like lighter coverage. I'm just taking what's left in here, doing the other side. And I don't want to set it so that it's too powdery. Taking a little bit more, kind of doing that. My base doesn't move and that it kind of helps control the oils a little bit. This bronzer from Rimmel London, it's the natural bronzer. It's in the shade Sun Bronze, so 22. I got this on Hush, it was like $3. Overall, I've been using this for like the past month and it's like the perfect, not too orangey, not too brown shade. And I'm using the exact same brush, just kind of swirling it, tapping it off, and then doing like a glorified bronzer contour thing. It's much more natural, which is the look I've been going for with my skin, and it gives you a nice natural glow. A sun-kissed look without being like, whoa, that girl contoured her face. You know, and go right under. Also, I have really round cheekbones and I kind of like to leave them that way, so I kind of go like this. Does that make any sense? So I feel pretty good about that. I totally just bumped the camera, so I'm really sorry if it looks like different. But I like to take just this, I think it's typically an eyeshadow brush, but I use it to contour my nose. And so I take a little bit of that, dust it off because I don't like it to be too strong. And then I just kind of contour my nose the way I want to contour my nose. And you might like it, you might hate it. It's fine. It's all good. It's my nose. But I like to go around the little, like the ball of my nose. I like to, I don't know. There's a certain way I like my nose to look, like rounded at the end. And so that's it for like bronzing and contouring. I feel like a lot of that is up to preference, like personal preference, but I like to do it this way because I feel like it makes it look a little more natural. Like you're obviously wearing makeup, but it's not like that girl's cheekbones are contoured to the gods or anything crazy like that. It just gives you, it enhances your natural beauty. And so I've also incorporated this the last few times I've done my makeup. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the color, oh, there it is, Pearlescent Pink. And so I just got this. It was $3 on Hush. If you use the app, you get free shipping. Not sponsored or anything. They don't even know I exist. But it's like the best. So I just take a little bit. This is like, oh, this is a different brush. It's like a rounded domey brush. It's pretty pigmented, in my opinion. Granted, I'm like not terribly dark, so it shows up a lot in my face, but you're just gonna give a little smile. And I like to bring it up right at where my cheeks round, and then bring it up the side of my face just a little bit. And I don't like it to look too intense. And then I'm going to take a little more and go on the sides of my nose. And I feel like this brings more of like a flush look to the face overall, and it looks a little more natural than just pink on your cheeks. Because when you're flush, your whole middle of your face is going to be flush. It's not just going to be your cheeks. And I want to put a little bit at the end of my nose, just kind of all over it. Alright, so I think I'm going to do my eyes now, and that's going to be in a separate video. but you'll see me in a second with eye makeup on. Alright, so I'm back. If you're interested in this like red eye look thing, I'll have the video linked above because I think I'll post this one first. But now we're gonna finish our face, and so since I was filming for a while and I did the eye look, I'm going to reapply a little bit of powder just to my T-zone because we're gonna, you know, set our face after anyways, but not too much. The same way I did it before. And since I'm oilier, I like to be extra careful. Just bring it up a little bit. And I don't want to diminish of anything underneath it, but I just want to, as I said, make sure none of the oils come through eventually. So last we're gonna do our highlight, and I like to do my highlight usually close to last, like around when I do my lips, because I like to match my highlight to my inner corner highlight. And so today I used the shade Stripped from Looksy Beauty, and it's this really beautiful like duochrome. It's technically a white base with a pink shift to it. It's going to go at the high points of our cheekbones and then just a little bit above the brow. A little bit above the brow. I do use it to highlight my nose. I know some people don't like to use any like colored highlights to highlight their nose, but I don't mind. And a little bit just right here between the eyes. Barely any on the Cupid's bow because it is a pink highlight, so it might be looking a little bit less natural than you anticipated. And I'm going to do my lips really quick, and then we'll come back and finish the face. So this step is optional. I'm not quite done yet, but I do have like, you see that? These like deep set forehead wrinkle things. And so before I go in with the setting spray, this is even after I powder my face, I'll just take my still kind of damp beauty sponge. And this is, like I said, optional. This is just because I've just always had these forehead wrinkles, and no matter what I do, no matter what kind of primer I use, no matter what kind of foundation I use, they're always there. And so I just like to kind of smooth them out before, you know, the last step. Last, we're going to set our face with the Pro Sealer setting spray by Clean Color. I get this in a pack on Shop Hush. I also use the primer a lot, but I've been using the silicone one, as you saw at the beginning of this video. But this is like a really, really great setting spray. It helps keep my oils intact, but also gives me this, it's not glowy, but it's not a matte kind of overall finish. It's like how you would describe like a satin finish. Just like a nice, perfected photo finish. So let's just back up and spray. And you want to make sure that there are no wrinkles happening on your face while you're setting everything. Praise the Lord, we are almost done. So that is it for the current foundation routine kind of thing. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and link down below is everything that I talked about today. And so also, last note, my skin type again is like combination oily, acne prone, but not like sensitive. And so these are products that I've been using recently that work really well for me, and it gives me a nice, more natural kind of finish. I used to be really into like the super crazy matte, like no hydration in your face, but I really have been enjoying a more natural kind of glowy look with either a bold eye or something. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video overall. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.